Caller on line 1, how can we help you? Michael Regan, thanks for calling.
Hi, Mike. I'm calling because I received a 1095A form in the mail.
I've got the expert with me live in the studio. Take it away, Chris. Go ahead, buddy. That's you.
Yes, can we help you?
Yes, hi. I'm calling regarding the 1095A form. It came in the mail, and it was under. I was the only one insured under it from January 1st through May 31st, and then June 1st, I went on Medicare.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. It came with the recipient's name as my husband's, and my name as the spouse's name. However, it was my insurance only.
Is your husband the primary tax filer when you file jointly at the
Yes.
end of the year?
There's a box on the application that you check that he was the head of household. That's why.
It's so just so you understand, and I'm sure they would tell you this on the phone line as well, but I hope they did.
Yeah.
What that means, it's not, the Access Health system is not confusing whether or not your husband was insured with you or not. All it's identifying is the household that files jointly with the federal government. Because what we end up doing, just so you understand the process, we send these forms out to you. But what we also do is every quarter and annually, we send reconciliation documents, Excel spreadsheets, securely to the federal government so they can audit this and they can have a database that has all the information. So when you're filing your taxes using that 1095, it's going to be able to reconcile and say, yep, that's the same thing we have that Access Health sent us, and that's the same thing coming out on the 8962. So the only reason it's addressed to your husband is because you guys file taxes jointly. And if you remember when you put in all the information into the system, you had to put your husband's information because everything's based on the modified adjusted gross income for the entire household, the taxable household.
That's exactly right.
So that's why I wouldn't don't be concerned about that from the perspective of us thinking that your husband was insured too.
Okay, now caller, are you going to do your own taxes, or are you having it done by a tax preparer or an accountant?
Okay, by our accountant. And I do have one other question.
Sure, take your time.
And I understand, and Mike did help us with our insurances.
I can't thank you enough for your business. All right.
Okay, so my other part is this morning's paper, there was this huge article about the 1095As, and it is stated that if column C doesn't have anything in it, there may be a problem, and mine does not have anything in it.
Is just so, because I don't have a 1095 in front of me, my understanding is column C is that the premium tax credit section?
Yes.
And you did receive a premium tax credit through the year, and there's nothing for the months that you were insured?
Right, I was insured for 5 months through the Access Health, yes.
So on the 1095, it shows that you were insured for 5 months and it has total premium.
Right.
And then the next line over is the second lowest cost silver plan. It says that, right?
Right, and that's blank.
And that's blank too. And then the next line is the premium tax credit, and it shows no tax credit.
Right. And I did receive tax
And you didn't have
credit.
any premium change throughout the year.
Right.
So for that...
For 5 months. I was on for 5 months, and then I went on to Medicare June 1st.
Yeah, but from the day you started paying your premium, you paid that same amount until the 5 months was over, then you stopped.
Yes.
So for that, what I would suggest doing, call that number, that 888-257-1040. And what they'll do is they'll verify the information for that 5 months, and if there's an adjustment that needs to be made, they'll gladly send a new one out to you.
Okay.
My gut feeling is, because it's in writing, and I know Jason Madrick, who wrote this article, that could be a legitimate error, and they're trying to own it now before it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah, we're happy to address that.
That's why the phone line was established. Awesome call. Very good call.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, thanks for your time.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Okay, so now another thing which the brilliant Chris, I'm sure he's going to touch on, but I'm going to steal a few seconds of airwaves. If the tax filer or any person they are claiming as a dependent, so if that lovely lady on the phone had children and they also got insurance with an advanced premium tax credit, make sure that the accountant or yourself or whoever you go through is filing another form, the 1040A. So remember, if you have children and you are claiming them as tax dependents and they might be eligible for an advanced premium tax credit, they are required to file a 1040A. My accountant, Don, and I went over that last week. So that's important.
That brings up another thing, Michael.
Go for it.
And this is
difficult to stay on top of all this, just so you know.
Yeah, it's very complicated with all the tax credits. You're combining insurance, which was complicated before, and now taxes, which is equally complicated. My wife, when I started this job, she said, "I can't imagine your job being any more boring than working in insurance." And then I told her I was working in taxes as well, and she said, "You've accomplished it." It's more boring.